There's fewer and fewer Mondays for the rest of the school year, right? All right. Yeah, is that it? Really? Wow. So I just asked you to try these. So I'm not necessarily going to mark them off. So if you go to your book to page 173, we're going to just go over 1 and 2, see how we do. And then we're going to finish up the notes. So this week, Tuesday, which is tomorrow, we will work on the practice test. Okay? The practice test can be used on in-class test on Wednesday. So being that it's a Wednesday, the quiz or the test itself is going to be a little bit shorter because Wednesday is a shorter day, right? Yay. So advisory. Yeah, so this is what we'll do. So let's hit up on number 1 and 2. I just wanted you to try it, see how we did. So the area of a rectangle. So we have a length, we have a width. It says the area of a rectangle is 48 square meters. Okay, so that's the area. And then they tell us, hey, the length, so if the width is x, then the length is 3 times the width. Okay? So we have to know, and I will give you the area equation. So area of a rectangle is length times width. The only types of word problems you'll see will deal with the areas or perimeters of rectangles. All right, so I know that if I have a length of 3x and I have a width of x, if I plug in those in, and then I know my area is 48. So if I multiply those together, I get 3x squared equals 48. And then we need to start solving it. So divide each side by 3. 48 divided by 3, I think this week is 16. If I take the square root, do I worry about, because of length, the plus and minus component, or do I always just go with the plus? Yeah, it's always going to be plus because it was a length. Okay, so if our width is 4 meters, then our length would be 3 times 4, which is 12 meters. So there's my dimensions of my length and width. Okay, so that was problem number 1 on page 173. All right. All right, so then problem number 2, they changed the wording a little bit, but we can change it back. It's not a big deal. They tell us that the perimeter of this particular rectangle is 20 centimeters. So we have some sort of length and width of a rectangle. And then we know that the area is equal to 24 square centimeters. So we want to find the dimensions. Okay, so the perimeter equation, they gave you a weird perimeter. I'm going to go back to this, 2L plus 2W. So we know that that's 20 equals 2L plus 2W. What can I do to everything to clean it up a little bit? Yeah, very good. Divide everything by 2. Excellent. So I get length plus width is equal to 10. Okay. And then we also know that the area, which is length times width, is equal to 24. Okay. So this is going to be our other equation we use. So I think we should modify this first equation. And could we say this? And if so, what did I do to get to there? What did I do from here to here? Yeah, I subtracted W from both sides, and then I just kind of flipped the whole equation over. So now I can take this and plug it in here. And then that's going to allow us to say that, okay, I know that 10 minus W times W is equal to 24. Let's distribute here and here. So that's going to give me W squared equals 24. All right. So let's move the 24 over and rewrite the problem a little bit. So if I see that I have a negative here, if I multiply everything by -1, that's going to change all the signs and I'll make it a little bit easier to do. Okay. So this can factor. And we can factor it our quicker way because we have a lead value. Our A value is just 1, so we have W squared. So what factors, what two numbers multiply to give positive 24, but add to give -10? What do you think? There you go. -6 and -4. So if I solve those, I can find that W is equal to 6, and I find that W is equal to 4. So I think those are our dimensions. So I know we have both saying W and W, and that's fine. So I'm going to call this 6 centimeters, and I'll call this 4 centimeters. And if we think about this, the perimeter should have been 6 plus 6 is 12. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 12 is 20. That works for the perimeter. The area is 6 times 4, which is 24. That works. Okay? All right. Wow. For some reason, I brought my semester 1 workbook. Give me a minute. I need to drop this back on my desk because I'm going to go goofy and I'll start assigning you stuff out of semester 1 because, I don't know, full moon last night or something. All right, let's get that one sheet out from the other day. There was what? No, you bought it earlier. Okay. Let's get that worksheet out. It says more area problems. I think we would do 3 of the problems on there? The worksheet I gave you the other day? I gave you a note sheet the other day? Come get it then. If you weren't here, come get it.
Yeah, Michael, get the paper, sir.
All right. So help me out. Help me out. How many of those did I work out the other day? I forget.
Looks like you did
3 of them? So I did 1, 2, and 3? Okay. So let's go down. Let's take a look at number 4. So number 4 on that worksheet I gave you, it says SQE number 16B, more area problems. Okay, so let's take a look at number 4. First off, we're talking about the area of a rectangle. So we have a length, we have a width. Sturf can draw a rectangle, things would look a little nicer. They tell us that we know the area is equal to 50 square centimeters. And they also tell us that if the width is x, then we know the length is 5 more than the width. Okay? So that's what we have to work with so far. So we're calling the width x. I guess we could have left it as w, but we'll call it x. So in order to find the area, area is equal to length times width, or I can say length times width is equal to area. And then I can say that I have x times 5 plus x is equal to 50. So let's solve it. I'm going to bring the 50 over and rewrite the order. So if I bring the 50 over, the 50 is going to be negative. Do you feel comfortable with that? So take a look what I did. I rearranged the order. I rearranged 5x and x squared. I made it x squared plus 5x. And then I subtracted the 50 to bring it over. Okay? Now, I think we can factor this quickly without having to use a quadratic formula or our secret way, because the one thing is we're looking for what multiplies to give me negative 50, but adds to give me positive 5. 10 and 5? Do you agree with 10 and 5? One of them has to be positive, one has to be negative. Which one's positive? Yeah, positive 10, negative 5. And one of these I can eliminate right away. That's exactly right. That's not going to work because I can't have a negative side. So I'm going to get this equals 0. Add 5 to both sides. So I find that x is 5. And up here I said, oh, the width is 5 centimeters. And then I know that the length is 5 more than that. So 5 plus 5. So this is going to give me 10 centimeters. So my dimensions are 5 and 10. And then realize if you multiply 5 and 10 together, you get 50, which is good. Pretty straightforward, I think, I hope. Any questions there? So again, it's using a little manipulation, little kind of pulling a lot of different concepts together. And I can't imagine a Wednesday test is going to be really that big. So we'll take a look at the practice test tomorrow that we will work on. All right, number 5. Number 5, the bay, which I guess is the base. Okay, so we have a rectangle. So we have a length and we have a width. Okay. So we're going to call the length x. And this, they say they call it bay. I believe it's supposed to be base. So the base of a rectangle is 4 inches less than twice the width. You know what, I'm going to redraw this rectangle because I think the rectangle is going this way. We're going to call the width x, and it's going to say the base of the rectangle is 4 inches less than twice the width. And then they told us that the area is equal to 96 square inches. So I know that the area is length times width is equal to area. So I called the length 2x minus 4. I called the width x. And I get that's equal to 96. So if we distribute that over, I'm going to get 2x squared minus 4x equals 96. Let's move the 96 over. Now, we could still do this the quicker way. And the reason I say that, usually the quicker way can take place if the x squared term has a value of 1. Well, right now we have an a value of 2. Well, what can we do to everything in that problem to ensure we have x is x squared and not 2x squared? What do you think I can do to everything here to make this just x squared or 1x squared? Do what? Yeah, if I divide everything by 2, and 0 divided by 2 is easy. All right, so I'm going to divide everything by 2 here. So that gives me x squared minus 2x minus 48 equals 0. So now we're looking for two numbers to multiply that give me negative 48, and that add to give me negative 2. So in order to get a negative, I'm going to have x plus and x minus. So what are the factors? What two numbers multiply together to give me 48? One being positive, one being negative, and add to give me negative 2. What do you think? 1 and 48 is not going to work. 2 and 24 is not going to work. 3 and 16 won't work. 6 and 8. 6 and 8, absolutely. And being I have a negative 2, it's going to be a positive 6 and a negative 8. If I add those together, I get the negative 2. So this allows me to eliminate one of my answers. So I can get rid of this answer because I'm not going to have a negative length. And then I have x minus 8 equals 0. So x equals 8. Okay, so that means that this is 8 inches. And this one is 2 times 8 minus 4. So that's 16 minus 4. So that's 12 inches. So 12 times 8 is indeed 96. Cool. All right. So we covered these word problems, and we're just focusing on the area of a rectangle and the perimeter of a rectangle. And we were able to walk through these pretty nicely. So I think that would allow us, if I can, there we go. So I think what we can do is this. Let's do page 173, 3 and 4. Yeah, what I gave you the other day.
It was on Friday.
Yep.
I wasn't here.
Yeah, you were.
I didn't come here on Friday.
Really?
Yeah, can I get that paper?
Yeah, put it in someplace I remember. And then page 176, number 22 and 23. So I will mark those off tomorrow. I'm giving you the rest of the period to work on them now. And then we'll work on the test. So 22, 23, assigned on 4/18. And 3, 3, and 4. And I'll stop my recording now.